Oh, I blinked. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Morning with the Wiz. That's me. So, last night was fun. Oh, I don't want to do that. Let's put my ring over here on my altar because today let's see, who do we got here? Hello, Becca. Good morning. Hello, Kat. Good morning. Hey, up me duck. Oh, I love when Simon joins. Simon, are you going live? Are you doing your usual Saturday morning live? If so, we'll have to catch that. I gotta remember that. Yeah, I know. 2 p.m. Diane, where you are. We have such a global audience, and I love that. That fascinates me. Oh, good. So Simon's going live on the Hermit's Cave, his usual. It's 4 p.m. Do you go by GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, Simon? But as usual, live. It's usually an hour after yeah, okay. So 4 p.m. GMT. That's on the Hermit's Cave. So make sure we check that out. Yes, in the winter, that's right, because yeah, our time zones change. But I think, Simon, yours changes a little different than ours. Isn't there like a week where it changes? Because we're like 5 hours apart, and there's like a week or something where it's like we're 4 hours apart until both of our time changes for the time zone. Yeah, March and October. So how is everybody today? And yes, in honor of the Hermit's Cave going live later, I started to make sure I have a cuppa with when I go live, which I usually do. I just don't usually show you guys it because I'm a coffee fanatic. Decaf, of course, because I don't want to pump myself so full of caffeine. What was it? Cuppa canny beat 'em? What is that? Oh my god, that's funny. Usually a week ahead. I don't know. Oh, yes. Your clocks change a week before ours do. That's what I was saying. So there's a so I'm talking about what Simon posted, because I remember we we are 5 hours apart, but there's a week where they turn their clocks either ahead or back, and there's a week where it's different. Alrighty, well, what are we going to talk about today? You know, Simon, I know, I can't either. I'm trying to, because like last night was just a lit night. Maddie and I had a little bump in the road on Wednesday, so we decided that we just needed to have a fun night. And we've been kind of trying to kickstart a Friday night show where it's just we take everything. Excuse me. We take all the serious stuff from the week, we put that aside, and we just, hold on 1 second. Oh, guys. Oh, guys, I gotta share this with you. So, hold on a second. Let's take a minute to laugh at the Wiz. So I've got my Mac here, and this is kind of how I monitor the chat and stuff like that. I just find it easier with the keyboard and stuff to do that. So a lot of times what I do is I don't need to see my video, so I pause it. Kind of just saves on bandwidth. So I was going to do that, and I'm touching the screen. Like I'm sitting here, I'm like, what the hell? In my mind, I'm touching the screen, and it's not, it's a Mac, it's not touch screen. So yeah, there's my, yeah, that's me this morning. So yeah, we had a completely lit show last night, and that's the only way to describe it. It was Maddie and I back on track, full, what do they call that interaction between, oh my God, there's a word for it. Dynamic. Oh. Our full dynamic was in effect, fist bump. And Maddie's sitting right next to me over here. You can say hi. Oh, God. That's Maddie. He's got to work today. Yeah. What time do you get out?
And I look like shit.
Yeah. What time do you get out?
7, but I might get out earlier just because I hate working.
No, we all hate working. Though, yeah, so today, so in case you guys know, we have some weather coming today. We're kind of under a winter storm watch, as they call it, so it's going to be one of those days, and I'm going to turn for a minute and give Maddie the lecture. Make sure you are careful.
Slowly, yes.
Hi, Hexen. How are you? Let's say hi. Hi, Cat. Good morning, sunshine. Okay, so what the heck are we going to talk about today? Well, I have a few things. I have my whole bowl collection because I know you guys love singing bowls, as do I, and I haven't rung in the past few days. But what I wanted to talk about, and I've got a couple of books here, is just to kind of dig in on some Reiki and mainly just the chakras and stuff. You know, since you know, usually every week I break out a bowl or two or whatever and ring them. I'd like to kind of share some of, you know, or let's say explore together some of the, you know, details of the chakra. I also have my grimoire for the Apprentice Wizard, and I did bookmark a page in here because he's got a good thing on chakras. And I want to kind of dig through them. But first, let's set the space and do a little bit of a ring. Better at setting the space than this one. Oh, no.
Can I call it sick?
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
I haven't called out sick ever.
I know.
I deserve a call-out sick day. Ouch.
You don't get PTO days like I do you? That's the only thing.
Yeah.
When you, so if I call out sick, I have X amount of days that I can actually hold on. Okay, a little bit of ringing to get us all in the space. Okay. So let's dive into some chakras. I'm going to open this book up to a page I was at. It talks a little bit about Reiki, and it talks about the chakras. And I just wanted to kind of dig deeper in on the chakras. Do we have everyone in here? Yeah, I feel so calm, too, because I was like, oh, we were all kind of lit last night. But I'll tell you what, I slept good. The chakras. Reiki masters in the West usually touch upon the chakras in the first degree. In my Reiki 1 training, I was given an overview of the concept of the chakras with no practical information. The Hindu word chakra is generally translated as spinning wheel, referring to the spinning vortexes of energy found in the human body. In reality, chakras are part of Hindu metaphysics, not Japanese, and are not part of the original Reiki system. But since so many in the New Age world are familiar with chakras and then take Reiki classes, the two are complementary. I didn't know that. Personally, I find Personally, I find the model of the chakras to be a very helpful system of knowledge when doing healing work on myself and with others. Each chakra energy center represents a level of consciousness in the human life. Energy blocks in the body are often centered at or connected to a chakra point. The chakras are also associated with specific parts of the body when we have physical illness or injury, or sense a block in the particular chakra through intuitive means. We know what level of consciousness, what issues are at play in the healing work. So which is kind of true. So this is a picture of, again, the chakra system. I love this diagram. It's like the non-anatomically correct naked guy. And the light, bear with me, the light is being really stupid. But, you know, you got 7 chakras. One at the base of the spine, lower belly, mid-belly, heart, throat, mind's eye, and the top chakra, or the crown, which is on the top of your head. And the way to think of these is like energy swirls. So energy will come out and go into the next chakra, and so forth. And they're all connected, almost like magnetic poles, if you would. So yeah, so that's what a chakra is. But let's what chakra is what, and there's some descriptions in this book. There's descriptions in this one, but there's also descriptions in the Grimoire of the Apprentice Wizard. I want to see which descriptions I like better. Yeah, I think I've read these already. So let's go into this book, and I'm going to kind of touch through and see what... so this is The Magic of Reiki, and it's written by Christopher... What is it? Penksack? Penksack? I can't say it. But yes, that. Oh, let me see. Let's pop into the chat. Dave, you read my mind. I was thinking yesterday evening that I know almost nothing about Reiki. And you are waving a Reiki book at us. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, you know, I was attuned a while ago, and I'll be honest, I need a review anyways, and I think this is a good way for us all to learn. And I'll dig into... I just wanted to focus on the chakras first, and then we'll see where this goes. But let's look at our chakras and what this book has to say about them. So first up, the root chakra. The root chakra is usually visualized... The root chakra is usually visualized as a red disc of light at the base of the spine, or at the perineum point between the sex organs and the anus. The root consciousness is the level of physical survival and physical pleasure, giving us the ability to be in the world. Here we have our survival instincts, sense of tribe or family, the ability to take care of our body. We see sexuality as pleasure, as well as the instinct of passing on the genetic code. The root chakra is tied to the alimentive system, the root chakra is tied to the eliminative system, which eliminates toxins from the body and allows us to survive in the world. It is also tied to the reproductive system. Imbalances of the root chakra may manifest as illnesses in those systems, as well as feelings of not wanting to be in the world, suicidal impulses, ungroundedness, and the inability to accept pleasure from the body senses. That's interesting. I never really thought about that, and its impact on like the physical, not the physical sense, because I know that, but like having like suicidal impulses or the feeling of ungroundedness. So I guess it's really important to keep all these chakras clean. Let's move on to the belly chakra. 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 Oh, let me moisten my mouth.
Ew, the word.
Oh, he doesn't think that's right. I don't know. So, that word, because both you and your brother hate that word.
It's just disgusting.
Moist.
Blech.
And and it's true. A lot of people hate that word. Anyways, the belly chakra is visualized as a ball of orange light at the navel or right below it. This center corresponds with our ability to feel and connect with others outside ourselves. We have our instincts here, gut instincts as to whom to trust and whom not to trust. The belly chakra, also called the sacral or navel chakra, is tied to sexuality in terms of relationships, intimacy, sharing, and trust. So it's kind of tied a little bit to all the chakras are tied together. Nourishment is also associated with this chakra since it's connected to the intestines, spleen, lower digestive system, and it is here that we absorb food, how we nourish ourselves physically and emotionally. Upsets in this area and these areas of life are signs of belly chakra imbalances. Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, if you kind of got upset tummy, or that could be that chakra. All right. So the next chakra is the solar plexus. Let's go back to our diagram. Yeah, that's the spot right above the belly button. Okay. The solar plexus. The solar plexus, the solar plexus chakra is a yellow or golden orb located right below the diaphragm muscle and above the navel. The navel. Navel. This is our center of power and fire. Here we work on issues of personal power and control. If we struggle with it or let others control or sap our power, we lose energy from this space. We are not in our true authentic power. We struggle with anger and fear. The solar plexus chakra is also tied to self-image and self-esteem. The liver, gallbladder, adrenals, and stomach are all associated with this chakra. The adrenal glands are associated with the fight or flight response. As the physical liver stores toxins, the energy of the liver is said to store emotional toxins such as fear, anger, and shame. Healing the solar plexus chakra heals those issues and parts of the body. So what we're diving in here is just how to target when we're not feeling right. I'll pick up a bowl and just ring it just to kind of feel the sound, and just kind of, just kind of cleanse myself. But in all actuality, you can target these chakras when you're feeling a symptom that is associated with that chakra. Like so far, we've learned that I'm thinking if we're depressed gasp, I hope that no one within the sound of my voice is thinking any suicidal thoughts. Please, if you are, you're among a lot of friends here. Just know that. And reach out to somebody. But that's all tied to the root chakra. Whereas, you go up to the lower belly chakra, if you're feeling lower digestive ills, or if you're emotionally upset, that's a chakra that you can target. The solar plexus chakra, right? We know that, if we're feeling fight or flight, feeling like fear or anger or shame, we can target that chakra, right? Interesting how we can actually take our energies now from like our singing bowls and target, or even doing Reiki and target these chakras based on what we're feeling. Let's move on to the next chakra, which is the heart chakra. The heart chakra is the bridge between the upper and lower chakras, using the realm of emotion to connect the lower, more physical chakras with the upper, more mental and spiritual centers. It is usually visualized as a green wheel of light at the sternum, though some traditions teach that the heart chakra is pink or red center. Here we feel not only romantic love and love for our family, but also self-love and divine, unconditional love. When we are open to love, our heart chakra feels open and free. When we lack the love vibration, we feel closed or heavy in the heart. This chakra center physically interacts with the heart muscle, circulatory system, thymus gland, immune system. When we are not connected to love, circulatory and immune problems can arise. So that chakra targets those physical things, right? Moving on, we have our throat chakra. So at the throat center, we express ourselves, our needs, our will. Here we communicate not only by speaking, but also by listening. To truly communicate, we must be able to receive information as well as send it out. The throat chakra rules the vocal mechanisms, as well as the mouth, gums, teeth, and ears. It is visualized as blue and corresponds with the mind. Like the sky, our mind and throat chakra can be clear and bright, or clouded and heavy. When we speak our truth, the throat is clear. When we are not expressing our authentic self, vocal problems arise, including sore throats, colds, and infections. Now that's tied to the throat chakra. Okay, so let's go back. So if we're following along, let's go back to our guide so we know where we are, right? So that's the throat chakra we were just talking about. Hi, Anastasia. We're just talking about some Reiki and some healing, and I'm leading in with some chakra stuff. Let's go into the chat before we continue. Did I miss any good, Dave? You read my mind. Yeah, I read that one already. I have a couple of healers I've had a couple of healers eye me and be like, well, you need grounding. I'm an all in the head, and if I'm not careful person. Yeah, that's, that's a lot of people struggle with that, Kat. And what I would suggest when you really want to ground, and I really do need to plan somehow a guided meditation, but meditating and visualizing grounding and cleansing is a great way to get yourself grounded and, kind of basically get yourself grounded. So yeah, absolutely. The book is The Magic of Reiki. If I can put this up here, can you guys read that? It's by Christopher, I can't pronounce that. I'm going to say Pensac. I bet the C is silent. Yeah, I think I do want to, yeah, I think one of these days I want to do a guided meditation. I'm trying to kick it down the road and do it as a spring thing, and actually take the whole show on the road, maybe on a hike and go in a nature setting and actually just sit and do a guided meditation. I'll drag Maddie along with me. Isn't he excited?
Wait, for what?
Do a guided meditation in the spring where we go hike to a nice secluded area and just meditate, maybe near a waterfall or something.
I love meditating.
Yes.
This is how I meditate. Wait, you know how, what's your mantra?
What do you mean, my mantra?
Like, when you meditate.
I don't.
Do you have a mantra?
No.
Because I just go,
Well, why do I ask?
Just
No,
kidding. I don't actually
know
do that.
I know. No, yeah, I usually just sit and try to guide. If I do it, I'd have to do the guided meditation because it's very visual for me. You know, I'm a very visual person. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking in my mind, a nice nature-based guided meditation. So that's why I haven't done it yet, because it is 29 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit out here, and that's cold. And yeah, not going outside in the cold. Yeah, you know, that's Simon, that is a good idea actually. Is do a pre-recorded guided meditation. 'Cause I thought of that too, because see, I meditate to music, and I gotta either compose something myself so that I don't deal with the copyright nonsense, right? But yeah, all of these things I've definitely got to do something, because yeah, I think that's a good idea, Simon. I might actually do that in the interim before before spring gets here. That way you guys could watch it at your leisure and maybe actually use it as a meditation tool. I'm going to work on that. But anyways, we are moving on to the brow chakra. That's up there. I've never heard it called the brow chakra. It's like the forehead chakra, but I guess that's your brow. And the brow chakra is called, oh, okay. The brow chakra is called the third eye, because at this chakra, we see with our inner vision, as well as our outer vision. It is connected to the pineal gland, which senses light using mechanisms that are similar to what our eyes use to see light. Even though it exists within our brain, the third eye sees with spiritual light. Through this indigo/purple energy, we take in information psychically or intuitively, and we send out visions of our manifestations through visualization and intention. When we don't trust our intuition or don't want to see what is around us, this chakra is closed down, resulting in either psychic blindness or physical eye problems. Very interesting, right? We tend to find ourselves maybe struggling in our spiritual life. You might want to target this chakra. You know, a little bit of Reiki, or get a singing bowl that targets it and get that clear. Like if you're trying to meditate and you can't, or if you're trying to do something like divination, or even reading tarot, right? You need this inner intuition to read the cards. So when this guy's blocked up, yeah, it's going to be a lot harder to work on that stuff. Or if you have eye problems. Oh man. So that brings us to our very last chakra. And that's our crown chakra. The crown chakra is visualized as a sphere of dazzling white or violet light at the top of the head, where the skull bones meet. It's kind of up here where my pointy doodly thingy is. It is the chakra of spiritual survival and connection, crowning the other 6 chakras in much the same way that its gland, the pituitary, regulates all other glands. The brain is the body center, and it controls the rest of the body as well. Through the crown chakra, we have connection to the divine, into our sense of purpose in the world. Through this chakra, we know and fulfill divine will in the highest good. When the crown chakra center, or the crown center is closed down, we feel disconnected and unloved by the divine. And we question the meaning of existence. Issues involving the physical nervous system, as well as any ailments that are system-wide or force a reevaluation of life roles and meaning. Our crown chakra issues. Interesting. So now, this book also goes on to extended chakras. I don't want to go into that because I think that gets confusing. But that's kind of chakras. Interesting. So, I want to flip back a little bit and just get into the just get into the Reiki part of it and read a little bit from the book. But actually, before we move on, because I don't want to just have this live with just me reading at you. Let's go to the comments and see, is there anything, any questions? Free music on YouTube has some good meditation music. You know, I should look at that because that is an option. Yeah, the pineal gland, it's at the base of the brain. Yep. Meditation and journaling are key to my own wellness. Oh, absolutely, Butterfly. Yeah. And I I know this, and I sometimes get into my meditation routine, and I sometimes, you know, life gets busy and all this stuff goes on, and all of a sudden I forget to meditate. Oh, Hexen says drumming helps too. Yeah. There's a few things I want to get. How do I explain this? There's these metal musical drums that they have at Elite Ideas Trading, but they're like $600, and they come with mallets, and they're basically, I believe it's basically the pentatonic scale musically, and you hit it. It's almost like a musical drum, but oh my God, the sounds are delightful. And regular, so I play drums, which I could pull out a couple of pieces of my drum set and bang on. But yeah, I mean, it would be good to get some sort of drum, and hopefully at Tarostock, we can, because I know Jen had mentioned we could do a drum circle. That would be so much fun. Yeah, but I wish I had some drum, you know, something to drum like a spiritual drum. Oh, hand drumming, absolutely, yeah. It's the fast way to change the mood to better, yeah. Rhythms definitely do that. That's why music is so important to me, because I'll just sometimes put music on and just listen to it. Because you know what it is? It's almost like, so when we're babies, when we're infants, and we're inside, you know, mama's special place, it really is close enough to the heart. As a baby, we develop and we form listening to our mother's heartbeat and that rhythm. Oh, hi, Rosie. How are you? And, you know, it's very soothing to us. We learn from the beginning, the importance of that rhythm. And that's why music is so healing. Drumming, even playing music and listening to music. I'm a very musical person. So that, yeah, that music and that soothing rhythm of music is very healing to me. Very, very healing. A hand pan. What's a hand pan?
It's a hang drum. You know that thing where it's like it's kind of like the thing that we see in
And that I was talking about.
But it's not that. It's a little bit different from that. It's the one that has like the little kind of dents in it, and then the bigger dent, and you just tap like certain sides of it.
Oh, it's musical as well.
Yes.
Oh, I'd love that. Rosie says hi.
Hi,
buddy.
Rosie.
But yeah, I want to draw. I gotta figure out something like that. I want to incorporate that. So I got the good bowl selection. So, anyways, any questions? Any more comments here before we move on? I need a drum. So that's something I've got to look into. I'd go so far as to say essential as butterfly there plus. Okay, alrighty. Okay, so let's let's move on to the Reiki part of things. So I'm going to read right from the beginning. This is not a traditional Reiki book. Although you'll find much of the basic information about what Reiki is as a healing art, including history, hand positions, and the like, you won't find a conservative view of the art of Reiki. Magic of Reiki is an exploration of the many systems of healing now called Reiki, viewed as a magical tradition. Most people in the traditional Reiki community would not consider Reiki a form of magic. Most practitioners of true magic would not consider Reiki a relation to their craft. Yeah, so there's these rules that, you know, that's kind of one of the things that kind of bums me out. It's just these rules around things. But we're breaking away from that. Because the thing is, it's all about intent, and it's all about taking this stuff and forming it for you. You know, so there is no, I don't believe there is any real right or wrong. So let's continue. And it seems like she also agrees. Or he. Is that a he? He. Oops. I have used both in my practice and find them incredibly healing, valuable, and spiritual. To me, they are facets of the same force, simply using a different mechanism. And the mechanisms themselves are not that different when closely examined. As I explore both communities, there is far more crossover between the two than most believe. Now, this too, he's talking about the traditional Reiki, as you know, and then the magical art form of Reiki. But no one is talking about the similarities between Reiki and magic. So now we begin a dialogue that many may find controversial. Now we bring together two worlds that have always overlapped. Through this work, we'll explore many aspects of Reiki and give applications of its use for traditional Reiki practitioners, as well as those involved in the magical arts. If both topics are new to you, this book will give you simple, firm understanding of both arts and how they relate to each other. Magic of Reiki is not a Reiki teaching manual for the average Reiki class, but it could be used as a manual by those teachers discussing, I'm going to turn the page, discussing the complementary topics along with traditional Reiki material, or by those with a strong interest or background in metaphysics and magic. Ultimately, this book is a starting point for further discussion and experimentation. Okay, that's interesting enough. So what is Reiki, right? Do we know what it is? Well, I think we do. We have a visualized concept and a quick definition in our minds as to what Reiki is. This is what is defined in this book. When I first learned Reiki, it was described to me as universal life force or universal energy. That seemed pretty vague at the time, but the concept behind those lofty words is the fundamental energy that creates and sustains the universe. The key in Reiki refers to the energy component, right? Ki, yeah. Different cultures recognize life energy and call it by different names. Ki is used in Japan. Chi is, or CHI, is another form of basic life energy, also used in the East. The disciplines of Tai Chi is learning how to work with this force. Hindu traditions call it prana. Hawaiian shamans call it mana. Raush is the Hebrew term for this force. Newman, Odic force, and Argon are all variant names. The different cultures have different definitions, interpretations, and cultural associations for it. But basically, they're all talking about the same life energy. This life force is found everywhere in all things, including people, animals, and plants. It sustains us. The energy is universal, denoted by the Rei in Reiki, not personal. The universal part of the Reiki definition signifies not only that the basic energy is found in everything universally, but also that as a system of healing. We are drawing up this energy from the universe, which is limitless and ever abundant, rather than drawing upon our own personal ki or that of another person, animal, plant, or object. So when doing Reiki, so kind of important for this aspect of Reiki, because when we're trying to heal either ourselves or even another person, you don't want to spend your energy. You're not taking your energy and using your energy to send healing energy out, right? Because that's going to drain yourself, and it's going to kind of make you, you know, symptomatic, if you would. What you want to do is meditate and ground yourself and draw upon that energy that's all around us, the energy from the universe, the energy from Mother Earth. And instead of taking that from yourself and pushing it out, you are channeling it, right? So when I'm performing Reiki on someone, I'm envisioning in my mind, so I do a good meditation and a grounding, and I'm envisioning in my mind the energy, I am like the cord to a lamp. I'm plugged into to Mother Earth, and I'm plugged into the energy of the universe, and I'm flowing it through myself and out my hands. It's kind of how I visualize when doing Reiki. Right? Let's go to the comments. Oh, butterfly, you leaving? To making a hand drum involves a ceremony for birthday and drumming. Oh, interesting. Good to go. Feed people. Feed PPO.
You gotta go feel people?
I read it. Oh, God. Feed people. We'll watch more later today. Bye, butterfly.
Bye,
Mwah, love you. Love you, love you, love you. So this is interesting. So what I will tell you, a big part of Reiki, and if you're thinking of kind of diving in and learning Reiki, there are some that say that you need to be attuned. And while I do believe that is absolutely, is necessary, what I did is, so the most important one is your first attunement. So if you take a Reiki 1 class and get attuned, it's that first attunement that connects you and gives you that ability to channel the Reiki energy. Then further learning of Reiki kind of builds upon that, but it's very important to get that first attunement. Where was I going with this? Oh, I just squirreled. But this is what I was going to get at. It is very, 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 very important. One second. Very important that you get meditation down first, because you can't channel and tie into the energy of the universe without being centered and grounded. Maddie's got a question. Yes, dear. Huh? What? Say it out loud. I'm. You're going to lose money.
It's probably going to be dead today because of the storm tonight.
Yeah, but your hourly rate. But that's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah, but, I mean, are you going to screw them over?
No.
Yeah, well, people
four
get...
people working in the morning.
Yeah, well, people get sick. Okay, you're squirreling me, but yeah, if you want to. No, I mean, it's up to you, but that's going to be a financial hit, but that's okay. I mean, All right, we'll talk. What time do you have to be in? Let's talk, because I'm going to wrap up. I don't want to go further than an hour, and I'll wrap up here. Because I think I don't want to throw too much out there, because I feel, right, do you guys agree that an hour is probably a good, because I want to kind of keep going on some of this Reiki and healing stuff, right? Because we talked about, I forgot what we talked about last week. But I know we've talked about healing and chakras and stuff. I think we did talk about chakras. So I want to kind of keep on this focus because I like this and I think it's needed. So the next section of this book, the title is Reiki the System versus Reiki the Energy. Right. So let's see what they say about that. But I already do Reiki. I didn't take any classes. I don't need to learn it from anyone. This is a quote. I hear this statement or something similar from people, and it causes great debate among many in the Reiki community. The essence of the controversy comes down to a misunderstanding of terms and words. In my magical training, I learned how important it is to say what you mean because of the inherent power of the words. Unfortunately, for most of us, English can be an imprecise language and is particularly limited when explaining mystical and Eastern concepts. Because our language often lacks the subtlety needed, we must explain things clearly. When people say the word Reiki, some are referring to the energy of the universal life force, which is ever abundant and available to everyone. We already have some of it flowing through us every day. If we didn't, we wouldn't be alive. We take it in with the air we breathe and the food we eat, and subtly exchange it with the environment around us, including the earth, sun, moon, stars, planet, and animals. We even share it with each other. I added that part in. There are many mystical ways to access this energy, which some people do intuitively with little training. Many healing and magical arts call upon this energy of the universe. Prayer, meditation, ritual, visualization, affirmations, and intent are all methods to connect to it. And they all come with their own techniques, strengths, and drawbacks. I'm sure that many people are already using this universal life force in their own way, even if they have never even heard of the word Reiki. Right? I'm going to stop there. Don't we do this, when we got a headache, if our eyes are tired, we do this, sometimes we do this, and it is a form of Reiki. It's touch. And when you touch, you pass energy. Right? It may not be the symptom or the school of Reiki, but it is. We are doing these things. Every time we touch ourselves, we rub a sore muscle. Right? Let's put my hat back on because I've been told that I am not a wizard without a hat. But, that's the truth. So let's go on. Other people use the word Reiki to refer to a formal system of healing, originally called the Usui system of natural healing by its modern founder. And I probably butchered that word, U-S-U-I, Usui. It's a name, Dr. Mikio Usui. This system has a fairly modern history, and practitioners of it have a lineage where they can trace their teachers back to Usui. The system uses specific symbols, hand positions, philosophies, and techniques, and is said to have a great many personal benefits and safeguards built into it. Although there are many variations and additions to it, Reiki as a system is a tradition Without learning the tradition from a qualified teacher, you do not receive the same benefits and safeguards. So that's the belief in the Reiki system, right? And that's the whole. You can trace my teachings all the way back to Dr. Dr. Usui. I should learn how. I should trace my my lineage back to pronouncing that name. I have my lineage back to you. Oh, really? Awesome, Simon. I do too. I actually learned from a Reiki master. And she was my mentor when I used to work. And, this was about 10 years ago. Was it 10 years ago? About 5 years ago. It was a person, a coworker, and she was a mentor of mine. She was my Reiki master. Anyways, people will talk about Reiki as ancient, and the energy itself is ancient. Many people throughout history, known and unknown, have tapped into it. It is part of life, but as a specific tradition as we know it now, Reiki is fairly modern. Perhaps its modern form is a revival of an ancient system of knowledge, as suggested by many teachers, but we have no definitive proof of this. When people already do, and he's got this in quotes, when people, quote unquote, already do Reiki, but have not studied the system, nor been initiated into the tradition, they are using energy, but are doing it in a different way than a Reiki practitioner. Sometimes that can be wonderful, and other times less so. Often there is a greater need for intense concentration, and without the safeguards, there is more of a chance that they will use too much or too little energy, or even start taking on the symptoms and illnesses of their clients, particularly if they are strictly intuitive and haven't learned the traditions of healing. I think a big part of that, and that's true, but here's where, just drawing upon what I know about Reiki, and I think, because most of what I believe, is all intention and intuitive. I kind of don't subscribe to that whole, you got to be part of the club mentality. Though, like I said, I've trained in Reiki. But there are the safeguards. Being able to channel, being able to get yourself grounded and meditate and get to the position. Because I think the big number one safeguard is not to use your own energy. That's where you can kind of absorb the illness that you're treating and then end up manifesting in yourself. And you don't want that to happen. That's why I say you want to ground yourself and tie into the universal energy and just be a conduit. That way it's just flowing through you and there's no chance of contamination. So that's a big common mistake that I've seen, is that people will just bust out in Reiki. Oh, let's just do it, boom. And they're not meditated and they're not grounded. And while they may be very effective at healing, they're spending their own energy to do it, and you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're grounded and make sure that you're channeling that healing energy. And it is interesting, and it's true, Reiki as, when we refer to Reiki, Reiki masters, is actually a very recent, a very modern practice, if you would. Not modern, I don't mean modern within 10 years, but I'm going to say within the last couple of centuries, right? We're in the 21st now, but I would say 20th, but I tend to agree. I think it is actually ancient in its concept. Our ancestors have been doing some sort of healing in some way, shape, or form, but it's evolved. And now we have evolved and coined this new form of Reiki, which is, Reiki as we refer to it. So let's just finish up this one section. So take it into where did I leave off? You haven't learned. Okay, we'll start. When people already do Reiki but have not studied the system nor been initiated into the tradition, they are using the energy but are doing it in a different way than a Reiki practitioner. Sometimes that can be wonderful, other times less so. Often there is greater need for intense concentration, and without the safeguards, there is more of a chance that you lose too much or too little energy, or even start taking on the symptoms and illnesses of their clients, particularly if they are strictly intuitive and haven't learned the traditions of healing. Many lack the training and awareness to regulate the energy, while others do it quite beautifully on their own. It is different with each with each healer, but when one is part of the tradition of Reiki, one has the ability to regulate the energy and be protected from the client's illnesses and issues. So the next section is medical Reiki and mystical Reiki, but I'm gonna stop there so we can do a little bit of a discuss. We're at 55 minutes, so I want to take the last 5 minutes and see if we have any questions or any thoughts on this. But a lot of it makes sense, and it's basically boiling down to making sure you're doing the healing properly in terms of grounding yourself and controlling that energy and not contaminating. Hey, it's like I tell people when they do ghost, because I've done ghost hunting as well. You don't just grab your stuff and go, right? And just go, joyfully into the into the haunted place, into the spiritual realm. It is very, very important to spiritually protect, and guard yourself and cleanse. It's so important, and it kind of goes back to, back to that whole meditation. Being all of our energy comes from the universe and the earth, and being connected to that is key in many different areas. Personally, I find this all really fascinating, but would always be afraid of doing it wrong. With Reiki, so Jack, 90% of my answers to statements like that is that, it's all an intent and you can't do it wrong. I will say with Reiki, be a little more careful. I would start small, and I would just, and I'm going to try to, and I think I'm going to keep going with this whole Reiki over the course of the next few Saturdays. Series. Like a mini-series, exactly. Mm-hmm. Because it is important. Like, I wouldn't be afraid of doing, maybe some minor healing. Maybe you got a headache, do some self-Reiki. Maybe even a friend has a headache. Just make sure you're not, absorbing. I would always start with a meditation and making sure you're grounded. Because like the book says, everybody can heal. Maddie over here, believe it or not, has a healing touch. It's, I don't think, do you know anything about Reiki? You don't really know.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm. But
you definitely have a natural healing ability. That's why I ask him. I tell him, I take off the hat and I'm like, rub the head. Because oh my God, his touch, Maddie's touch is like a natural connection to the energy. It's very healing. He's got a healing touch about him.
I do.
And some people do. I do, but I think it's more through the Reiki training that I have. People say when I do Reiki, they can actually feel, and I do. When I put my hands close, I can feel the universal energy actually flowing. I feel that energy coming through the hands. So yeah, we're gonna leave it at this. This is an hour. Because I always love to leave some time. I'll leave about an hour. For then we can all hop on Simon's. I have a lot of stuff to do today. We have some bad weather coming in, some really bad. It's going to be a really bad winter storm. So sometime today, I've got a laundry list of things to do. Get the shovels ready, get the roof rake ready, and I'm going to get out there and and give the generator a start, because we're going to get like a lot of snow mixed with ice, and that tends to lead to power problems. So that's what my day is going to be. I'll be in and out doing that. But let's wrap this up with a little bit of, let's do a mini. I'm going to ring the bowls, and let's do a little guided meditation as we close this out. But first, I want to start one more thing. And let's pull a card of the week. Let me see, Dave. Yeah, I am right across from you getting a bad snowstorm, too. Yeah, where are you located? Aren't you on, like, you're in Long Island, right? Yeah. Yeah, you're going to get the same nonsense that we're going to get. Are they predicting, because, I mean, I think where you are, you might be below the rain snow line. Or I don't know, because I haven't really looked at the New York forecast. But where I am, we're in, so I'm about a half hour south of Providence. So we're just north of the rain snow line. So we're going to get a lot of snow, and it'll probably mix with like some sleet. So it's going to be a really, really heavy, miserable, nasty snow. So I'm going to shuffle my Wizard's Tarot deck, and we're going to do a card of the week. Oh, Eastern Long Island. All right, so you're right. You're probably directly south of us. Probably directly south of us. Where do you, out of curiosity, where do you get your news from? So Eastern Long Island, do you guys still get New York City channels? Or do you kind of rely on either Providence or Connecticut channels for like weather? Oh, Jennifer Riggs, I live in Maine. Lots of snow on the way. Oh God, I'm going to tell you. Now, and I'm squirreling a bit, but I'm jealous of you, Jennifer, because I'm also a skier. I started skiing last year, and I've gotten bitten by the passion. I love it, and I've got to get myself up north. Okay, so you grab Connecticut channels for your weather. All righty. Yeah, because I'm trying to picture where Eastern Long Island is. It might not be directly south of us. You might be a more southwest of us. All right, so let's grab our card of the week. I'm going to start making this as part of these lives by Port Jefferson. I have to pull that up on a map. Okay, our card of the week is the Six of Wands. Right, so let's let me pop in this book and grab my Six of Wands meaning before I tell you what I think of it is. Yeah, it's harmony. Okay. Yeah, so harmony. So what I see here in this card, and I'm reading this intuitively. So Six of Wands is harmony, wands, spiritual concerns, blah, 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 blah. But when I see this, I see someone up on right? Because I've talked about this one before. We see this girl, she's up kind of sharing. And she's sharing with the community of folks around her. Kind of similar to like what we're doing on this YouTube, right? And what I see here is, and this is going to be our card of the week, a theme of the week, and that is sharing with the community, sharing and kind of being that mentor to one another, right? That's our Six of Wands. So let's let that be our weekly goal. Let's grow with ourselves within our community. Let's share things, and let's which is what we're already doing. So it's great that that card came up. And on that, let's do a little bit of meditation. I'm going to I'm going to switch between bowls. I'll try to make this, because I don't have music prepared, but maybe this will work. So let's start with breathing, right? You want to breathe. I usually sit I don't know what I call it, Indian style, but like cross-legged, and I put, you know, and I'll just kind of put my fingers like this and rest them on my legs. But sit anywhere comfortably. And let's start with breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You can close your eyes. And clear your mind. So you want to clear your mind as you breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Nice and steady at a nice even pace. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Into your nose, out through your mouth. Keep your mind clear. And if something pops into your mind, just envision it being surrounded by a little bubble and then floated away. So now in your mind, now I want you to think of your favorite color. My favorite color, I actually have two, which are red and blue. But think of your favorite color and think of a root or a vine coming from your root chakra at the base of your spine and going down deep as a root system into the center of Mother Earth. Now think of that connection from your root chakra down to the earth, and keep your breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Now with each breath you take in through your nose, think of it as drawing in clean universal energy. And every time you exhale, think of that dirty energy that's inside you as being cleansed and draining down the root chakra, down the root from your root chakra into the earth. Keep the breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. With each breath, more and more of the dirty energy is going down the root into Mother Earth to be recycled. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Now at this point, I like to envision a bubble surrounding you, a bubble of white energy, and think of it as getting harder and harder, almost like a diamond shell. And draw that bubble, that shell, into you till it surrounds you merely inches from your skin. Keep the breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Think of all of your dirty energy all washing away down the root into the center earth. And that diamond, light, bright white shield around you, hard as diamonds. Keep thinking of that. One last big inhale. And exhale. Okay. And when you're ready, just open your eyes up. I gotta log back into my laptop, because I can't see the comments. Okay, and that's a quick meditation. That's a quick one. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So that's gonna be our Saturday morning. And next week, we're going to continue on that. We'll talk more Reiki. Maybe we'll do another mini meditation. And I'm going to actually work on a pre-recorded guided meditation. I don't know when I'll have that up because I still have to plan it, but I'd like to get that up there. But we're going to do these every Sunday or every Saturday. Oh, Celtic, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope it was amazing. That would be awesome. Thank you, Dave. This is very good. I hope you do a long one. I am going to plan on doing a real long one. I think I might do it as a pre-recorded for now, but we're going to do a nature one. And I know a few spots. Oh, earthquake. I know a few spots here in Rhode Island that are just beautiful in the spring, summertime. So I want to actually do a a live nature meditation. But yeah, some long ones are coming. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, I keep bumping the table. I'm sorry. So unprofessional. So thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, Maddie's a big part of it, so make sure you hop over to Conjurer's Table. You have, what's your next show? Did you say you're taking Sundays?
Yeah, I'm going live tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. So it's going to be Wizards at night. It's going to be a weekend of us. Oh my God, I feel so bad for you guys. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you have me on Saturday morning, Matt on Sunday morning, and we also, we cannot miss Simon in about a little less than an hour over at the Hermit's Cave. Oh, what a weekend lineup this community has. So what are you going to talk about, Maddie, tomorrow? Do you have a plan? Not yet? Okay.
I'll figure something out.
Yeah, he'll figure something out. He's always got wonderful things. And what's going on? So Simon, if you're still in here, what is your... give yourself a little plug. What is the Hermit's Cave going to have later today? If you're in there, just post it in the room and I'll we'll part on that. Unless you already, because sometimes he breaks out to go and you know, because it takes a lot to get this all ready. Let's give a few more minutes before we end it. I'm just
general cup of ketchup.
So it's just a general cup, cards, and ketchup. Awesome. So don't forget to hop over to Hermit's Cave and check that out, guys. I love you all. Mwah! Mwah! Like, subscribe to all of us. Share each other. Like and subscribe to each other's channels, too. You know, let's build this community. And until next time, which our next one is Wednesday Night Reads. All right? Mwah. Love you guys. Bye-bye.